Racing, good even dispatch. Down into turn number one, Lee Aylett tucks in behind Gary Higgs. Back then to Chris Pavlovich in third. So run the back straight back to Rob Knox in fourth place. Kemble Aylett is fifth. Then back in sixth place, the 5 car of Kevin Bell. The V8 Super Sedans flying around the Tyre Power Manjimup Speedway. Opening lap is a 17.975 by Gary Higgs. Back to Lee Aylett in second. Rob Knox tries to come underneath of Chris Pavlovich as they run the back straight the second time. Back to Kemble Aylett in fifth, and then back in sixth. It is car number 5 of Kevin Bell. Then back in seventh is Kyle Larson and Darren Larson at the tail. They thunder past us. Out in front, though, it is Gary Higgs, the West Australian champion. Last time around a 17.305. The quickest anyone has gone tonight. The front left-hand wheel not on the ground as he moves down the main straight once again. Back in second place, it's the 4 of Lee Aylett. Then in third place, car number 8, Chris Pavlovich. Still Indian file at this point in time, but they're absolutely flying around the raceway. Out in front, though, car number 1 of Gary Higgs leads them after 4. Back in second place, Lee Aylett, then Chris Pavlovich. Rob Knox in fourth place as they move down the back straight once again. Our race leader is Gary Higgs in car number 1, doing a fantastic job out in front.
No need for a left front if you ask Gary Higgs. That thing could stay at home with it flying in the air. The battle at the moment is for third place as Pavlovich is being chased by Rob Knox. Knox obviously donning the WA number 3. How good would it be to have a WA 3 and at third place in the opening round of the Super Series, but Higgs 17.259. It's getting faster. The track grade has been working wonders for the West Australian champion, and maybe finally now the door is open with that state championship. Anything is possible when it comes to the W1, or the 1K car I should say. Aylett has been no match whatsoever at the moment as they come to lap cars. Still a gallant second place for the W4 machine, but he's still 3.3 seconds behind Higgs. Finally through lap competitors, only 8 laps have been completed, but the pace of the West Australian champion has just been impeccable. Still running such quick times as the state champion, and the gap opens up by 0.2 of a second each lap. It's now 3.5 seconds. Back then to Pavlovich, who can't shake off Rob Knox, but neither can Kemble Aylett and Kevin Bell. Bell kicking himself that he lost that third place that he was running in his second heat when the right front gave away for him, but half race distance completed. The dirt is hitting us here in the commentary box. It's flicking that high up. The gap now, well, it's unassailable from here. It's 4.7 seconds now between our top 2, with Larson now about to come a lap down. The question is, how big is this gap going to be at the end? If it continues this way, we may even see it into the double digits. We are halfway completed, and it's 5 seconds now, but lap competitors are starting to come into a play with it. 7 to go this time by, and now Larson, that's Kyle Larson, goes a lap down. So both the Larsons are now a lap down. And for Lee Aylett, would you feel happy with a second place finish when the run from Gary Higgs has been so good? With the lap competitors, though, for the lap cars, that has allowed Kevin Bell now to close into Rob Knox and take over. No, Knox will hold on to fourth, as lucky for him, Larson was in the way. 6 to go for our race leader, and he's home and hosed.
It's an absolute firecracker of a speed they're setting at the moment. The 1 car comes on the outside of Kemble Aylett down in turn number 1. Second place is still Lee Aylett. Third place, Pavlovich, Knox and Bell. The back straight is where the action is. The WA champion comes up with 4 laps to go. This has been an absolute masterclass of racing. First time in about 15 laps he's had to put the left-hand wheel on the ground as he moves out of turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straight. Oh, he goes into the back of the 9 car, who had to stop and prop on the outside of the 91. So Gary Higgs hasn't got past the lap traffic. Lee Aylett starting to close the gap. 3 laps to go. Around the outside of the 91 car he goes now. And he's now up behind Campbell Aylett. Lee Aylett starting to close the gap as he goes around the outside of Kyle Larson. Chris Pavlovich third. Kevin Bell fourth, and then Rob Knox. 2 laps to go, 18 down, and it's the WA champion who leads. Comes up on the outside of Campbell Aylett. Lee Aylett is really closing the gap now. There's only 30 metres in it. They run the back straight for the second last time. White flag to come out this time around. Gary Higgs just in front. Lee Aylett is storming home. There's a car length in it as they go down into turn 1. Lee Aylett is really throwing down the gauntlet. Campbell Aylett in front of them. Lee Aylett right up behind Gary Higgs. 200 metres to go. Lee Aylett goes the outside. Contact. Gary Higgs on the inside is going to win. Gary Higgs first across the line. Lee Aylett second. Great finish. Back up for third. It's going to be that of Chris Pavlovich. Then Kevin Bell. 5th place goes to Rob Knox. And 6th to the car number 9 at Campbell Aylett. What a great finish. Put your hands together for car number 1, Gary Higgs, who survives a last lap lunge by Lee Aylett in car number 4. There was contact and Lee couldn't quite get past. And a long way back in 3rd place was Chris Pavlovich. The time for the race was 5 minutes 56.169. The winning margin was 0.913 of a second in the Super Sedan feature race. What a great finish it was, just as we saw it at Albany's Atwell Park a few weeks ago.
I said it was 6 seconds when I turned away and gave you the microphone, Jason. 0.9 of a second, and a flat tyre as well.
Yeah, I think the flat tyre might have been the contact on the last corner with Lee Aylett. He's going to do a victory lap with the flat tyre. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, the WA champion in Gary Higgs, even with a flat tyre, will take the win.
Throughout that whole race, there was no lap flag whatsoever.
Put your hands together, toot your car horns, flash your car lights. After more than 30 years of trying, a couple of weeks ago, he won his very first state title. And tonight he's gone through undefeated after a massive scare. They've all finished bar one. Kyle Larson broke down on the last lap. Lee Aylett second, gallant performance. Chris Pavlovich, Kevin Bell, Rob Knox and Campbell Aylett, your top 6. As he comes out at turn number 4 into the terraced area, put your hands together for him. Gary Higgs, 5 times he's been the runner-up in a state title, and he takes the win with that flat tyre coming on the last lap after the contact in that desperate finish with Lee Aylett. 1, 4 and 3rd place went the way of car number 8. 1, 4 and 8